intuition of the game of cricket as well, and he knows how to get the best out of people. So that combination, it's the reason why they've had so much success. It's an amazing combination. So you've got that from a leadership point of view, and that just flows all the way down through the whole franchise.
Last time there was a lot of talk that CSK side is a bit aged. Did that get you in mind?
Oh no, it didn't. and it's proven that
Age don't matter.
well, age doesn't matter, because in the end, I know that, and even in Australian cricket, for a period of time, there was a huge shift with getting the old guys out, over 27, getting those out, and getting the young guys in, because that's the way cricket's moving. Well, cricket's a skill-based game. In theory, the older you get, up until a point where your physical attributes start affecting your performance, up until that point, the older you are, the more experienced you are, the more skill developed you are. So it's proved, with CSK doing that, it showed that even T20, which everyone sort of has talked about, it's a young man's game, it's a young athlete's game, it's skill. So the most highly skilled cricketers are going to be the ones who have more chance to be able to execute their skills under pressure.
Another question is that you don't play international cricket. How do you prepare yourself for a T20 requirement?
Yeah.
Skill-based?
Look, I've learnt the hard way. After the first year where I didn't play, when I stopped playing international cricket, I did struggle to be able to find that balance between looking into the next phase of my life, making the most of my family time, but then making sure my skill was where it needed to be as well, playing against world-class players in all these tournaments. And the first up to about a year, like 9 months of me doing it, I got it wrong. I didn't prepare, I didn't play club cricket, I didn't keep my skills going. I thought, oh yeah, I'll be okay, I'll train, play a couple of practice matches, I'll be fine. No, it doesn't work like that. The reason why I was able to keep my skill level where it was when I was playing all year round was because I was playing all year round. So now that's why it's a full commitment to, while I'm still playing. It's obviously during the off season it's difficult in Australia to be able to play, but I'm playing club cricket at the start of September. When that starts, I'm making sure that I'm playing all the way through until obviously these tournaments start. It was this tournament it was a bit more of a challenge because I didn't expect to come here halfway through the tournament, so I had 2 weeks of not playing. So it took me a little bit of time to get my skill up and going again. But yeah, I've learnt the hard way about how to prepare as well as I possibly can to make sure that I go into these world-class tournaments with my skills where they need to be able to give myself the best chance of performing.
You follow any routine?
Routine, yeah, of course. Absolutely, and I've had to continue to refine that routine as well, to be able to give myself the best chance to be able to perform, consistently at my best, throughout these tournaments and when I have, time in between tournaments as well.
Shane, a bit earlier you mentioned that if there was a Jack Callis in Australian team, you might not get the chance.
Yeah.
Do you feel Jack Callis is the greatest ever all-rounder you have seen, or you mention any other people?
Oh, Jacques Kallis.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy to think that Jacques Kallis in Test cricket, he, in the end, had a better batting record than Ricky Ponting.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And he had a similar bowling record to Brett Lee. In one guy, in one person. And then, from a catching point of view, was Ricky Ponting in the like as a slips catcher as well. It's too hard to get your head around how that's possible.
Okay, and the pace bowling all-rounder, they're the special breed. People say that you are one of those kind. And if you mention the Richard Hadleys, Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, if you consider those people with Jack Callis, what is the difference actually? Also including you.
Yeah, I'm not including myself in there in that light. Look, I think the thing I'll just talk about Jacques Kallis and that comparison is, look, of course, someone like Imran Khan had an amazing bowling record, for example, and then his batting was more, he's batting at 6 and 7 or 5 to 7 really, and average, late 30s, which is amazing.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's great. But to think that someone was a number 3 or number 4 batsman, is one of the great batsmen, Test batsmen, with his record, his statistics, his average, his runs that he scored, that's incredibly difficult to be able to do from a batting point of view, because you only get one chance as a batsman, really. You can only get one chance, whereas bowling, you can bowl a few bad overs to come back and get some wickets. But then for Jacques Kallis to be able to do it and continue to bowl all the way through his whole international career, for as many tests as he played, 150 test matches, was it? Or whatever it was. And he bowled all the way through. Yeah, I just think it just puts him in a class above those guys. Obviously, those other guys, whether it's obviously Ian Botham and Richard Hadley and Kapil Dev, obviously they're incredible. But just from my own point of view, knowing what I was trying to do, Jacques Kallis, Superman.
Going back to your early days, you are a graduate of Australian Cricket Academy, that famous academy. Why it's so special that it has produced so many greats?
It did produce so many greats. Did. The reason why is because they got the system right. Rod Marsh, the way he set it up, and the way that everyone who went in there got taught how to play, from a batting, bowling, fielding, fitness point of view. It was just, they got the system right. And I remember when I got asked to go down there by Rod Marsh, it was like a dream come true. To be able to go to like a factory of producing like some of the world's greatest cricketers. I was like, well, how can I not get better? How can I not improve my skills? And then, like everything that happens, they try and change something that's not broken, and they broke it. So still we haven't had the same factory that have produced, like, just about, apart from a couple outliers here and there, like Matthew Hayden, who didn't go through the cricket academy, just about everyone who played for Australia, who played first class cricket in Australia when it was the competition was so incredibly strong, all went through the cricket academy. I scratch your back and a bit of some boards sort of get together and do a deal to be able to get some cricket on. I don't think Test cricket will be that. I think it'll be like what's happening now with the Test Cricket Championship. Well, that should have been put in like 8 years ago when the ICC first mentioned it. You need to be able to provide context to every single game that's played. That's why the 50 over World Cup is such a great event to watch and to play in, because there's something riding on every game. The T20 World Cup, that's the reason why that tournament is so great to watch and play in, because there's a lot riding on every game. Whereas a T20 International, there's not much riding on it. It's just the pride of playing for your country. A series that you play against different countries, of course you want to play well for your country. There's a lot of pride riding on from your country, but if you lose, you're going to play another tour. You're going to play another series. Whereas you don't play well in a World Cup, you've got 4 years to be able to try and get it right again. So the more context is played, whereas T20 cricket is great for domestic cricket. It's great for developing the young that's coming through. It's a great commercial engine as well for the local boards, not having to rely wholly and solely on India, on the BCCI, to be able to provide the TV rights to then fund their next 4 years. It provides a commercial engine for local boards. So that's where I see T20 cricket being such a really important part in world cricket. But Test cricket, it's the ultimate. No matter who you are, a 5-day Test cricket is the ultimate.
You mentioned the 5 days. There's a discussion.
Not 4 days.
No 4 days.
It's ridiculous. The 5th day on a Test match.
Most entertaining.
Oh, that is the ultimate to watch still for me, and to play, of course.
They're giving some examples, and Test is going to be finished within 3 days.
Oh well, they do. But if there's a chance of a Test match going to day 5, like, that's the most awesome and intriguing part of Test cricket. You could have 4 days where the game seems like it's going absolutely nowhere, and everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a draw. And on day 5, because the conditions had deteriorated, the game just speeds up, and it's like enthralling to watch. So whoever's pushing that, whoever that individual is or a collective, come on, they're not a real true understand. They don't truly understand what the real context of what Test cricket's all about.
Do you think cricket can be a global game?
A global game? Well, I think it is in its own way. Like, it's hard to be able for cricket to go into it's challenging for cricket to go into new markets as you know, the ICC and cricket in general has always tried to break into the American market because obviously it's such a big market. It's challenging. Trying to break into China is going to be challenging. Trying to break into markets that don't have cricket as sort of the backbone of society nearly, which it is in Australia and it is throughout a lot of the cricket playing countries. It's very hard to be able to get traction.
As I heard, you are a very good cook. Is it true?
I do love cooking.
Which one? Pasta? You love pasta? Pizza?
Pasta. For me, it's more.
Pizza.
Look, I do love my American barbecue. So I love smoking things, long slow cooking things. So I'd have to say, and I only bowled to him in the nets, but at his absolute prime, I'd say Ricky Ponting.
Why he was best?
Why?
You could bowl the same ball and he'd play 4 different shots off it, however he felt, whatever he felt like, and they were all aggressive. Same ball, crazy.
And best bowler you faced?
That's also the next.
Yeah, that's well. I faced Shane Warne in Sheffield Shield cricket, and that was what an amazing experience that was. So yeah, Shane Warne and Glenn McGrath. I faced him in Shield cricket a little bit, and obviously in the nets a bit as well. And just the sheer control that he had over what he was doing, and also because of his bounce as well, and then his accuracy, he just suffocated the whole time. And then it was a matter of time before he got you out.
Shane, what makes the Australian cricket and the cricketers so different from the other cricketing nations, the other players and cricketing structure? Why Australia is always at the top?
One, because we've had a great pathway in place from a young age, but then I just believe, I think because of how Australia, when the convicts, the settlement, and that Australia sort of has really built a very much it's not win at all costs, but you're willing to push as hard as you have to go to be able to get somewhere.
To the last limit, something like that.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to. That's just part of what it is. You're back against the wall, then you got no choice to be able to just keep pushing to be able to try and do everything you can to win. Obviously, it has to be fair, and that's the one thing that growing up is always making sure you push the limit, but you didn't want to push over the line, but you had to be pushing the limits of what you had as a person, and also in a game, in anything you did, to be able to get the best out of yourself. And that's across, I think that, and it has been across the board, Australia in general as a country, is whether it's sport, especially in the past, has always overachieved compared to our population that we've got, is because of that mentality. Oh, okay, yeah. The exciting thing is the talent that the Bangladesh cricket have, that I've seen here even in the last couple of weeks. The quality of fast bowlers that the Bangladesh have, and also the evolution and quality and depth of a Bangladesh batting as well. Like the power that these the young guys have got now compared to what it was when I first started playing against Bangladesh. The biggest challenge is the big grounds. Australia's it's big grounds, and also obviously the pace and bounce in a lot of the wickets. So, and the more Bangladesh cricketers are getting exposed to those conditions, whether it's pace and bounce in the wicket, and bigger grounds as well, you're able to develop a strong game plan. So I think those two things that the Bangladesh players are able to work through as quick as they possibly can, then they've got the skill to have a very successful campaign, whatever that means. But those are the two things in Australia in particular that is different to it is playing here.
And one last question: how do you want to get into the coaching room? What is the plan about
I don't know.
getting into the coaching room? How do you want to get after?
Help out wherever I can, wherever an opportunity arises.
For sure.
Yeah.
BPL.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. No worries.